Okay, so we done with the commands. That see why I'm like repeating the concepts. So at least some of the people will know the every concept we have. These are the topics. Some people doesn't know. They are into the market. They are surviving still there because of their communication. At least if you know the concepts, what the concept where we need to use, you will get everything in Google. Everything will get in Google. So just in what are the places, what the concept we need to use. That's we need to know. That's okay. So we're done with commands, data types, constraints. So the commands is the key part for the SQL. Data types is the which type of values we need to store. So what the data type we need to use. So we'll use for the data types. Then we'll use constraints we have. The constraints will help us to create the business rules on your business. If you want to put the rules on your business, we'll use the constraints. Then we have operators. Then we have classes. So now we are in the functions. Okay. Now we are in the functions. In the functions also, we're done with some of the functions, single row and multi-row. However, we covered in the this what we can say classes, group by class. So while discussing about the group by class, we covered this multi-row functions. Okay. So in the single row function also we're done with the conversion functions, case conversion functions and conversion functions. So in the under case conversion, we have upper lower and unit cap. Okay. And case conversion, sorry, conversion functions we have. We want to convert a number to the date, date to the number. We want to convert that character, date to character, something like we'll use those. Okay, so we may use like if you want to convert for number to the date, number to the character, so we'll use 2_char. Okay, if you want to convert date values to the any other format, so 2_date. If you want, if you have the value in the different format, if you want to convert in char, we need to use 2_char. So if your value will be in any format, if you want to convert in 2_date, we'll use 2_date function. Okay. Sometimes we need to use mixed case, 2_char and 2_date also inside. Sometimes nested functions. Within the function, we will write another functions. Okay. See, then we covered some of the character functions and the general functions. Under the general functions, we covered NVL, NVL2, nullif. Okay, Coel's function, case, decode. So difference between case and decode is very, very important for us on an interview perspective. Okay. Then we have NVL and NVL2 differences of this 4 you may get. So what's Coel function? What's NVL? What's NVL2? Okay. So then in the character functions, we have important things here, substring and instring. Difference between translate and replace. Translate and replace. Okay, so I already covered this interview questions and they have some playlist in the channel. Okay, so how we need to explain the things with the interviewer. Okay, so if you are in the project, see the way starting, the way need to create in some place from X to Y if you want to travel. So there must be some way in the sense you will be travel very easily. So if there is no way in the sense you need to create the way. Okay, from the next time you won't get any difficulty. So what I'm saying, so here the difficulty is getting the job. Later we can able to manage. Okay, so here the communication is mandatory to manage the things. Okay, see, and we done with the solve function. Difference between replace and translate. So what is the advantage of in-string and substring? Okay, so then we have date functions. So if you want to get the first date of the month and last date of the month, okay, how will you get? Okay, so if you want to display next month, if I are in the current month, I need the next month start date and end date, right? So these are all the things you need to be practiced. Okay, so now we are going to see about the number functions. The number functions we already covered round and trunc, right? Now we have the mode function. Mode is used to return the reminder. Okay, reminder division of between two numbers. So meaning, so what we can say, if we have, so 5 by 2 from 2L. So if you are doing like what the remainder will get 2 by 2 into 2, 4. So we'll get the minor, like 1 as the remainder. Sorry, it's wrong. So 2 by 2. So it's see 2 into 2, 4. So if you do like a 2 1s are 2, so 2 2s are 4. So what the remainder we are getting, see it is divisioning by 2.5. So meaning like it is not getting exact integer for you. So here we have one 0.5, 2 0.15 we have. So we will get the remainder here as a 1. Okay. So if you want to get that remainder value, mod of 5 comma 2, you can division with anything. Okay. So now, so we done with some function, how to display 1 to 10 numbers we covered, right? If you want to display, okay, see select star from, select row num from dual. So what it is giving 1, because so the row num function will give the sequence number for every record. Row num function will give sequence number for every record. Then we have, again I am writing with another function, row num from DPT. See, my DPT table is having 4 records. That's the reason I am getting like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if I use like EMP, we'll get 14. We'll get 14. Okay. Now we have this. See, the client is asking to display alternative record from this data. See, I need to display Smith, Ward, Martin, something like. See, every alternative record I need to display. In this format, I need to display. Okay. Some people see while generating of the employee number. So you need to generate only the even numbers, only the odd numbers. You may get these situations. Okay. So the client wish, right? So that they are say he is like the even numbers or he likes the odd numbers kind. So based on his requirement, we need to generate. Okay. See in the same format, now we need to retrieve all the alternative records or all odd rows or even rows. See, 1 is the odd row, so 2 even row. You need to retrieve these records. How can we retrieve this? See, by using this mod function with the help of row num. So row num is doing like it is giving alternative, sorry, it is giving the sequence number for every record. If you inserted the first as a Smith, it displays 1 for him. If if you inserted clerk as a first, it displays 1 for that. Because we are using the heap table, heap in the sense first in first. First in first. Okay. So now we want to know mod of, then we have EMP, sorry, not a miss. Row 5, 2 in web beginning. Okay, so now I'm using the embedded. Smith, Allen word or something like for every record you are getting like 1 1 1 for you. Sorry, 1 2 3 4 like this sequence number. Now how can you filter this? See, the mod function need to be calculated here. See, you are hard coding the value, so the division of the number is same 2. So 5 is a changing value here. The 2 is a constant here. So if you want to know even or odd, so even or odd if you want to know. So if you are divisioning with the 2 of any number, you need to get either 0 or 1. You will get only these two reminders, 0 or 1. So what are the values you are getting 0 in the sense? It's a even if it is getting 1 in the sense odd, right? Say here the value need to be changed in this 5, right? So I will use row num here. I will get 1 zeros. 1 zeros. Okay. If I select like a row num equals to now, sorry, mode of row num comma 2 equals to ones, I'll get odd records. If I select like equal to 0, get even. Okay. Now I'm trying to select here row num equals to 1. Okay, I got only one record here. I'm not getting with the remaining ones because see row num function if you are using in the where class. If you are using in the where class, select star from EMP, or we can say, okay, 7369 Smith Allen, something like we got the values here. Okay, so row num, I'm putting like row num. Okay, now we have these values. If you want to select row num equal to first, need the first record. So which record you inserted, if you want to know that, we'll use the first, where row num equals to 1. Got that. For use like second record, if you need, you are trying to retrieve the second record, you won't get the values because you can able to use the row num function with row num equals to 1, not with any other things. The row num function, the combination of row num and equal to, it works with only the 1 in where condition. So you cannot able to use row num equals to 2, row num equals to 10, something like you cannot able to use. But how can you retrieve the second record? Okay, you need to retrieve 1 to 2 records. Row num less than or equals to 2. We will get 2. Or you can mention row num less than 3. Equal to 2 or less than 3, everything is same. Okay. The row num function, while working with row num function, you can able to use row num equals to 1 for the first record. You cannot able to use with, you cannot able to retrieve any other records using row num equal to operator. Okay. So you can able to use less than or equals to. You cannot able to use greater than also in the yes. Greater than or equal to also you cannot able to. Okay. You will get the null records. Okay. These are all things we'll get like an interviews. Definitely the people will, if you have hands-on experience, they will get some, definitely this idea, you won't get any results. Okay, now we are trying to retrieve row num less than or equals to 3. So if I mention like now, so mod of this, right? So I'm keeping like a less than 1. I need to get only one zeros, right? All zeros. Oh. But I won't get any values because you cannot able to use directly this row num function in the where class. So
the column name is not put it in the page.
It's a virtual column. See, if you are using like I'm commenting this row num, Okay, I'm keeping another column like X, ABC is the column. See, this ABC is not part of my table. That's the reason it is giving the error, right? So row num is also not the part of my table, right? If you see, my table does not have the row num column, right? But the column is acting like as a table of your column. It is not giving any error, right? It is a virtual column. It acting like as a column of your table. For every table, these two fields will be available. Row num, row ID. See, row num is it give like sequence number for every record, but row ID, see, it is having the like alpha numerical value. Alpha numerical value. So alphabets we have and three also we have, right? Row ID is a physical address of the record where you stored that particular record. See, you inserted some information Smith, right? The Smith information to store that Smith information in the database, it occupies some space, some bytes of memory, right? For that particular memory is having some hard disk or something, right? So how we have like a table space in the database, the same way in the database, everybody is having the house number, right? The house number and the Aadhaar number, the human is having Aadhaar number. It's a address ID for you, your address ID. Okay, you will be stay in some X place, your father will stay in some Y place. That is different. So person to person is different. If you are in the same address also, you will get some different Aadhaar number, right? If you insert like a Smith value in the two times, meaning these two are the duplicates, right? But even if you are the twins also, you will get two Aadhaar numbers, two different Aadhaar numbers, right? So what I'm going to say here, if we insert that same values or duplicate record, entire record, you will get the different row ID for him. See, equivalent to the Aadhaar number. So Aadhaar number as a human for record row ID. It is an address ID where it is located in the database. If you are storing something that there has some place, house, how we have the house, the same way it has some racks ID. That ID we can call it as an address ID for that particular record. Physical storage device. Okay, then we have, see, it generates sequentially that numbers AA, triple A, double AB, double AC, double AD, something like. You will get every record in this format. Okay, for first record you will see the triple A, and last record whatever it may be. See, A, capital A is the first letter. Okay, how you are saying 1 to 10? If you want to see the minimum, 1 is the minimum, maximum is the 10. So the same way, if you see in the alphabetical also, A is the minimum, Z is the maximum, right? Since in this case, if you want to know the first record, if you found like a minimum row ID here, and if you found the maximum row ID, if you want to retrieve the first record, we'll use this row ID. If you want to get the last record, we'll use this row ID. Okay. See, we have the minimum function and maximum function, right? So you try to find like a minimum and maximum functions. Max. Okay. So then we have, okay, so this is the row ID. If you want to know the last record, how to retrieve the first record, how to get the last record. See, you can able to get the first record simply row num equals to 1. Right? What is the value we have? Smith, the row num is having like a 1. We'll get the first record simply. First row. Because row num works with equal to 1, not with any other things. Okay. Now, if you want to get the last record, you cannot able to get here. Okay. In this case, you will go with the row ID concept. Right? Now we have like row ID. You need, if you want to get first record, use this. You need to get this first triple A one, right? If you want to get like last record, you need to get AAN, right? So found that maximum max of row ID. You are getting like this one, and keep this value in the where class simply. Where row ID in are equal to. If you are working here, you are getting only one single value, right? So equal to will compare with only two single values. See, A equal to 1, B equal to 1. If you are comparing like A equal to B, then only it compares. If you have A equal A in 1 comma 2 something like, see, it compares two different values equal or not. Equal or not. Okay. So now using this brackets unit. See, instead of column value in the where class, if you are writing any query, that we can call it as a subquery or nested query. Within the query, you are writing any other queries, that we can call it as a nested query. The same query, if you are writing in the where class, that we can call it as a nested or subquery. We need to call as a subquery only this. Okay, this is like a subquery. Okay, now if you want to get the first record, who is first? Smith. Got that, right? See, you are not able to, you cannot able to get like a fourth record, third record in this place. You cannot able to get the second record for fourth record. Every alternative record you cannot able to get in this place, right? So for that reason only, I am writing in the sub or nested query in the different format. Now, I have this query. You got like a mode of row num comma 2, right? Now I'm giving some alternative, sorry, name for that. Even odd, right? See,
Sir, you haven't mentioned J+7.
as is not mandatory. As not mandatory. See, I'm like making this select statement as a table now. As a table. If you are passing any select statement in the from class instead of table name, that acting like as a temporary table, that we can call it as an inline view. It's not the temporary table, it's an inline view. See, people need to understand this is a acting like as a temporary table, right? See, if you cannot able to use this even or odd in the select statement, if you are not acting, if you are not mentioning as an inline view, right? Now I'm able to select. If I'm trying to retrieve with the even or odd equals to 1. I cannot able to get because even or odd is not my actual column, right? Now I'm making this as a table. Whatever the select results I have, the select results I'm making as a table for temporary purpose. For temporary purpose, I'm making as a table. In the select statement, in the from class, I'm making some select statement instead of table name. This is the inline view. Okay, this is the inline view. Now you can mention this where even or odd equals to, so even odd equals to 1. See, Smith, Word, Allen, what we have 14 records we have totally, you got 7. If I use like 0, we'll get the Miller one is the last because Miller is the 14th record. Okay, now well, what is these two columns? It's a virtual column we are saying. So these virtual columns we can call it as a pseudo columns. pseudo columns. So this row num and row ID both are the pseudo columns. The row num will help us to provide the sequence number for every record, and row ID will provide row ID. It gives address ID for that record. So row ID is a physical address of the record. The definition for that row ID is a physical address of that particular record. Okay, what's the difference here? What is the difference here? You can check now. Now I'm deleting one of the row ID from employee table. I'm deleting some of the records. I'm storing these row IDs and row number. Okay, I'm pinning this. Okay, so I'm deleting the Turner record or 7844 record. I'm deleting here. Delete from EMP where EMP number equals to 7844. I'm trying to select the data. Now I'm getting like a 13 records, right? What we deleted, this Turner. 7844. Okay, so the row num is 10. Row num value is 10 and row ID value is AAJ, right? So go with the row num equals to 10. Now we are seeing in Adams. In the place of 10th record, you are seeing Adams. So the 11th record is like replaced within the 10th place. 11th is came in 10th. Okay. See, if you have like in the race, if the first one is dropped, the second one will becoming like a first, right? Now, in the same manner, the first record has been removed and the 11th record is becoming like a 10 now. Okay. But whereas in the row ID, see, if you are alive or expired, your Aadhaar number won't be provided with any other persons, right? You can check now. Adam's Aadhaar number is AAK, right? This is the K, AAK. But Miller is what we have. Turner Aadhaar number does not exist in this entire of the 13 records. It's not adjusting with the 10th record. So 11th record is not adjusted with the 10. So row ID is a fixed address ID. It's a constant, you cannot able to change. But row ID, you can able to change. So you are not changing, the system is automatically changing the value based on the data updations or something like. Okay. So the difference between row ID and row num, both are the pseudo columns. It generates sequence ID and it gives sequence address ID for that particular record. Okay, it's a hexadecimal number. 18 numbers you may see this. Hexa 10 plus oct 8. 18 numbers you may see in this. Hexadecimal. Okay, so 18 values you can observe in this. And you can check length function simply. 8 or 16, we'll see. 18. Okay, so this is about row num and row ID. Okay, so you will get like a if you want to retrieve odd numbers, even numbers, okay, we'll use with the help of inline view, we'll use mod functions. Okay, then we have mod functions we done. Then we have other functions. See, the computer will understand the machine language, right? Zeros and ones. If you are inserting ABC in your computer, the computer will know like only the language, machine language, ML. Okay. For that reason, if you are inserting any numerical values or even like 1, 2, 3 values also does not understand the computer. So there must be some interpreter how we are discussing with SQL. SQL it acting like as a broker between you and the computer, Oracle software, right? In the same way, with your laptop or desktop, they have some interpreter. So if you are inserting with the help of keyboard alphabetical values, or in English or numerical values, something you are entering, but the computer will converting that. They have some interpreter. It converts that into zeros and ones. Okay, so they knows that particular language, right? The same way, Oracle also, if you are inserting any value in the computer, there it generates some ASCII value for that in the backend. So zeros and ones, how you are saying, the same way we have some ASCII function. That function will give what the ASCII value for that. Okay, now we'll see some of the other member functions. So the power function, if you want to know the power of any value, we'll use, okay, 25 power 2. So 25 into 22, sorry, 25 into 2, 625. So you can go with that 2 into 2. 4. So then you can say 3 into 3 into 3. Sorry, no. 3 into 3, 9. You want to know cube, 3 cube. 27. So the power function will work in this format. 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 6, 2 power 8, anything you can mention. Okay, this is the power function. The power function will do like this. Okay, then square function. If you want to know the square root of that particular any value, we'll use square root function. You want to know 25 into 2. So 25 power 2 will get like 625. If you want to know the square root of that, we'll get 25. Okay, so now then we have mod function we've done, ASCII function. The ASCII function will have, for every character, they have some value. Every character, they have some values. ASCII of 97. The capital A and small a is having also different value. 65. Okay, so dead.
Capital ఏది నెంబర్ ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది మనకు అదే
If you want to know, you need to use this function. See, we no need to remember these ASCII values. Not mandatory for us, but if you want to know the any of the ASCII value, you need to use this. Okay, so then we have 90. Right? So you have some function like CHR of 90. See how we have power function, how we have square root function. The power will give 25 into 2 or x into y. Okay, x into y in the sense the power you will get like 2 into 2, 3 into 3, something like you will get. The square root will get what the value we have for that square root. Okay, see the same way we have ASCII function will give the what is the ASCII value for that. Okay, if you know ASCII value, any of the ASCII value, so you can use the char function. It's not like a char, it's a chr, char. Okay, char function will give the ASCII actual value or actual character. Okay, see this will help this will help us where you are dealing with special characters. Okay, now we have the, let's keep this very low with that. Now I need to display India is my India and US are my favorite countries. favorite countries. I want to display this string, right? So everything is fine here now looking, but the client is expecting to display apostrophes here. Countries, he is expecting some apostrophes. I cannot able to display, right? They have some problem because the system will understand the single code has terminated up to countries, sorry, up to country. You are inserting some extra space. Maybe you forgot to open the single quotation for that particular S. That's the reason it is giving the different error from keyword, not from where expected. Okay. So it's a problem. How can we achieve with this? How can we achieve? Now you can go with the two ways. Okay. You cannot able to guess that single quotation value also. Not able to. If you want to know that, so what is the ASCII value for single quotations? You need to find. That is the ASCII value. Single quote. Involving. CAR 39. See if you mention like CAR 39. Okay, so I'm mentioning like you got some single apostrophe, right? So you can use this function in this place by concatenating of this. See, I'm making this it look like as your countries, right? So what I did, I separated up to countries as a one string and S as another string. In between, I added some apostrophe with the help of char function. See, I use like a char function and concatenate operate, two things in this place.
Why we can't use this concatenate to single code?
See, you cannot able to add this function directly in this way. If you want to add anything to the string, you need to use. See, the string has terminated till this point. The string has terminated. This is one string, this is another string. If you are adding something with that, you need to use apostrophe. You don't have any other option.
రెండు సింగిల్ కోట్స్ మధ్యలో మళ్ళీ ఒకటి సింగిల్ కోట్ ఇస్తుంది సార్, మళ్ళీ కాంకాటనేట్ సింగిల్ పెట్టి మళ్ళీ ఎస్ పెట్టుకుంటుంది అట్లా యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయండి.
That also works. See, here my intention is to know about the char function. Okay, if you want to keep the single quotation, you can use this. Instead of char function, you can use this also. But not, my intention is you need to know what the char function. Okay, now we are in this, right? Now I have another requirement. You asked for this, right? Now I have this. Okay, so I have this now. Now I need to replace apostrophes in this place. Now I need to remove this apostrophe. So if you want to replace A with the B, you will use the replace function or you can use the translate function. If you want to replace only the character, one character, you will go with the translate or replace, anything is fine. If you want to replace entire string, go with replace keyword. Right? So we done with the, and don't put blank spaces. Okay.
Replace, translate,
Yeah, replace works with the string by string.
translate character.
Yeah, you know, right? Now I need to replace this apostrophe. Whatever the things you mentioned here, I need to replace. How can I replace now? They are mentioning string. I'm going to replace. So the syntax after replace of string, comma, word value you need to replace. Which value? So with word value you need to replace. Okay, so you can use single quotation. So you need to keep that what is the character you are going to replace. Mention that value in the single quotations. And what you need to mention. So keep that value in the single quotation. If you are not mentioning here, it can replace with null. Or you can mention star. Okay. Now it is giving the error. Now you cannot able to use what you mentioned till now. Oh, it is working now. Okay. See, some places the char function only will help us. Okay. If you are giving like this, maybe the client is not while verifying of the client, he is not like expecting these things. So what the inbuilt functions provided by the Oracle, those functions you need to use. Okay. So instead of this now, you can use, maybe try in 11G, maybe it won't work in this, I thought. Okay, now I'm using char of 39. See, is replaced. So you haven't used any like value, actual value. You use with the help of char function, it is replacing with that. Okay. Now sometimes you need to add some values with that, like char of 10, what it is giving. You can check char of 10. So most of the places will add this, some blank space. Some space we need to add. Line, new line. See, I'm like copying this value and I'm pasting this in this place. It is going with new line. If you want to add the new line value, oh, there is some new line. If you want to add from one word to another word in between, if you want to add any new lines, we'll use this char function. Okay, so char of 10 function. Okay, so we'll use this function and some other function. Okay, if you don't have like the client is not expecting accepting this, use this char function or not to use this single quotations. So it's not looking good for him, right? So how will you manage? How will you insert the values? See, while creating of the table, if you are inserting some apostrophe values, you need to get this error. So you haven't practiced more. Okay, people haven't practiced more. See, now if you don't want to use this char function or the single these things, but I need this value, so I need to insert the value as it is in my table, or I need to display as it is the string. Okay, for this we have q string q. The function name only q. Only q. This function will help you to insert. See the syntax of this. Okay, the syntax of this q. See, you can insert any number of apostrophes, something you can insert that can accept as it is. You can insert the double quotation, you can insert anything that can be take as it is. cube is the string. This will help you. Okay, so while working in the PLSQL, you may use that single quotations where we need to pass the single quotes, or we can use this also, cube function.
Okay.
Okay. Q string also you need to remember. So mostly is like you cannot see in the books. Okay, maybe if you found in the textbooks, I thought, not in the material. So outside materials. Okay, so Q string also will help us. Now, so now we're done with the ASCII. Now we have like seal floor. Ceiling fan will be in up. Floor plan will be in the down. Right? So if you want to know like if you are in like 99.1, so what is the next integer value if you want to know? What is the next integer value? 100. If you want to get that next nearest integer value, 100. Seal. Okay. Floor will give the previous nearest integer value. 99.5 you are in it. 99.1. No, 99.1 you are. So what is the nearest integer? 99 only nearest integer. So it gives same. How you have like the trunk function. Both function will act like as a trunk. Both are the similar value. It produces similar values, but both are not same. Okay. You can check with some sample values. We'll finish like number functions and we'll close, and we have some analytical functions. We'll see that by tomorrow. So we'll cover the entire number functions and we'll close. Okay, 12.45. It is giving next nearest integer value. See, 12.1, 13, 12.99, 13. Okay, so you can take like floor also. Floor 12.1, 12 only, right? Okay, if I use 12.9 or 5, the floor function will give 12, 12, 12 only. But seal function also it gives 13, 13.
It gives the nearest value.
Nearest, previous nearest integer will give the floor. Next nearest value will give the seal. Flooring fan, ceiling fan, floor fan. Okay. Then we have the round. Okay. So the round function, it rounds the value up to the given number of positions. That is the last eliminating value is greater than or equal to 1. So it's not like so.
It also gives
No.
round value.
It round 0.5 less than if you have it becoming like a 0, greater than it becoming like as a 1. Okay. Length function we done actually, right? Reverse. See where we need to reverse of the string if you want to display. If you want to know the string is a palindrome or not. Right? Palindrome in the sense actual string and reverse of the string both should be same. Right? Both should be same. We have a lot of strings we have. Mention ABA. ABA. Right? If you reverse this also, you will get ABA. Right? Now, how can you reverse this? Reverse of AB. See, it is really working or not, you need to know. Mention like a ABC. Got the values, different values. So it is working. Now you can convert this. A. The client is asking the reverse of the string and this both are same or not. You need to be compare. See, the client is asking to compare that string, actual string and the reverse of the string, both are the same or not. If both are the same, need to display as a palindrome. Now, how can I write this? I need the results of extra column here. Need to compare. I say spelling palindrome or not. So I need to keep. See, I need this as a column header, column name. So now I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, but I'm expecting this as a column name, palindrome or not. Right? I cannot able to use like this. I cannot able to put the column names as is, but you need to follow as per the naming standards provided by the Vashi. So you cannot able to provide spaces between one word to another word, right? Underscore or anything you need to use. Still, I don't want to use any underscore. I don't want to use any underscore. I need to keep as it is that. No, I don't need. I need the space as well. So in this case, keep double quotations. In the starting of the name and the ending of the name, you need to keep the double quotations. See, it is giving as it is. See, if you are reversing that, right? RV. See, I provided here also single quotations. Here, sorry, a small letter, and this name also I provided in this small letters. See the value of difference of that. If you provided the value in this double quotations, it is displaying as it is with your conversions, what you are in the uppercase. So what the case you provided in the particular case format only, the value is displaying for you. Right? If you haven't provided the double quotation or single quotations, it is displaying in the capital letter. Okay. See, if you want to derive the name of the column in your required format, okay, with space, with some special characters or anything, you cannot able to use this actually. Even if it is the I am not able to use this column special values in some of the places in the naming things. If I use now as a double quotations, it can allow it. Okay. See, while deriving, see the client, you cannot able to use these columns in the where class, such kind of things, right? The client in the result set, so you will share some Excel reports or something with client, right? In such place, they are expecting this type of things. Okay, the business column will be different. The DB column will be different. See, the business people will call gender. So our people will call from the backend as a sex. There may be a different names in the DB side and the business side. Right. So that's the reason you will use the single quotations, sorry, double quotations. Okay. So try to practice this. Will you able to use this in the where class or not? Okay. Let's try it from our end directly. So let's start this. While using the where class also, I thought we need to use this double quotations. Okay. While using in the where class also, you need to keep double quotations.
So, column in
No, not the pseudo column. See, this is alias name you provided by you in this double quotations. It's alias name. See, if you don't have this 1 to 3, it give error for you. It is giving the error 1 to 3 as a column I am displaying. I hard coded some value. That is the reason it acting like as a column of that particular table. It's a derived column, not the pseudo column. Okay. Now we're done with reverse. Right. I asked something here. How to display the given string is like palindrome or not. How can I need to display?
Just between.
I have like any. I need to display palindrome or not here. From here. So how can we display? Practice with this without Googling what you can able to write. See, you will get everything in the Google. But I'm not like expecting that. We need to practice. See, if you discuss what things you can able to put here.
Equal operator uses.
See, I need the results in select statement. I need one derive column. See, I need here as a pal. In the sense for employee name, that is pal. I'm saying every name as a palindrome, right? I need to check if ename Smith and HTIMS equal to this or not. And insert some same values to like correct values, palindrome values. Check. Check, like give me some idea of what you can able to use here.
Where unit equal to reverse. Select statement.
That also will works. It displays only palindrome values. No, you can tell me now again.
Where unit equal to reverse function.
That will displays
Only palindrome.
only palindrome values.
I don't think that.
Reverse of ename. This will give only palindrome values. It won't give. It won't give. No values we have. If you want to know the non-palindrome values, you can use directly this. See, about like you people has reached like the solution actually. Almost you got some solution, but you have some things you need to use here. We need to use inline view, we need to use decode, or we need to use case.
Then it's not.
Case. Practice with that without checking. So here we can able to use decode, or we can able to use case and the inline view. The combination of inline view, decode, or the combination of case and this. So you need to keep this. Reverse of the RV. Okay, you can put like here case ename equals to RV of ename, reverse of ename. Then palin, not sorry, else, not palin. It's more man, practice. Okay, we done with the reverse function. And so if you don't have this reverse function, if you want to do like reversing of the string in the PLSQL, so you need to, you need to take one by one character from that particular thing, and you need to append from last letter to the first letter. If you don't have the reverse function, it is a looping concept. You need to take one by one character and need to append. So you need to do in that manner. We'll do in the PLSQL. Okay. Then we have trim, trim, everything done. Translate the code case substitute. Once between next day. Okay, date formats. What are the things you can able to use in the date while retrieving of the 2_date and 2_char you will use. You can able to use this all the date formats. If you use like D, you will get the number of day in a week. So if you want to know, so sysdate of D. See the day week will starts from Sunday and ends with Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, so fifth in the sense 1. So you will get some idea. Select 2_date of sysdate can be and do it. 2_, yeah. 2. Now you are in a Monday. Okay, so you will get, if you are in the Sunday, you will get 1. Now you are in Sunday, sysdate minus R. If you want to know what is the day, it's a Sunday or Monday. No, day, DAY day. So DD, it give date. So what it is? 5th. Okay, so practice with everything. Practice with everything. Okay, and practice with RR. What the difference you observe. For us. So how we have YYY format? The same way RR format we check it. Check. Get back to me with this. I already say this document I thought. Okay. So I put some examples in the middle also. Like you need to be checked with all the things. You're not able to ignore actually. So go with all the things and check. Okay. So now done with this. I covered with aggregate functions also. Okay, we'll repeat like one more time, like 10 minutes of this aggregate functions, and we'll cover with analytical functions. We left with analytical functions. Okay, and we have some other functions. We want to work with special characters. Okay, we have some of the functions like list aggregator. Okay, some special functions we have. Regular expressions. You want to replace special characters. If you don't have the regular expressions, now I have like a direct symbol, hash symbol, some space. I need to display only the alphabeticals. Or one of the column is having like a alpha numerical values. I want to display whatever the employee is having the new alpha numerical values. What are the employees is having only the alphabetical values. See, while generating of the emails for the employees, if 2% having the same name, the persons will add some at the rate or some special characters. If you want to know that things, right? they simplify. If you want to use, if you have like 10 characters in the special characters in the name, you need to use the replace function 10 times. Replace off with one character, use this function, and again you can use with the how we are using like nested functions. You need to use 10 times nested if you don't have the regular expressions. If you want to replace two strings, now we have, let's see, I need to replace. See, wherever I am seeing AC, I need to replace with that, and I need to replace BD with some other value. Or star star, I need to replace with star star. Okay. So AC I need to replace with star star, and BD I need to replace with hash hash hash. So how can I replace here? Replace. Okay, replace off. So I cannot able to use this here, so I can use as an inline view simply. Select replace of ST, comma. So what we need to replace AC with, to use single star or double star, anything. Okay, from this. See, it is you are able to replace with star with wherever you are seeing like a AC. If you want to replace with BC or BD as well, use BD. But BD I need to replace with hash. How can I manage here? So you cannot able to replace two strings at a time with one replace function. Right. You need to use this function again, replace of this. Now you need to replace. What we need to replace? BD, maintain with hash, right? Okay, so wherever you are seeing with BD and you replace with hash. Okay. See, got replaced now. If you want to replace 10 character, 10 values or 10 strings, I need to replace nested function 10 times. It is a difficulty. So they simplified our work. They simplified our work. And if you want to convert rows to the column, rows to the column. See the meaning of this EMP, employee number. We have these employee numbers for 13 employee numbers. Where I use delete statement, I haven't committed, I thought. Okay, so how will, okay, we'll see this by tomorrow. So if you want to convert this 7369, 7499, so I need like this 14 records in one row. One row. You want to know. So earlier we have like a URL in 11G. The people can able to do simply WM underscore concat. Yes. If you are using anyone 11G, they have this function. So the function has winded up in 12C. Okay, for this it came like a list aggregated function. List aggregated function. Simply use how to convert rows to the column, column to the rows. Different. See, we have some pivot function also we need to cover. So I don't have that particular document, but pivot. See, now we are getting like, see, we'll see. Just remember in the class, like pivot class. We'll see.